Today, we're talking about why you overfunction at home and why it feels like if you stop doing everything, your entire household would fall apart. Most responsible women believe that being the strong one, the organized one, the capable one is just how things have to be. If you don't handle it, no one will. So in this video, I'm going to break down what overfunctioning really is, why you fell into it, and the exact steps that you can take to stop without guilt, chaos, or becoming the bad guy. You know that feeling? You look around your home and realize that if you stopped moving for 1 single second, everything would just collapse. The laundry, the appointments, the emotional support for everyone, it all lands on your shoulders. You are the responsible one and you are exhausted. You've basically become the unpaid project manager for your entire family. If you secretly resent being the only one who does everything, but you're also completely terrified to stop, then this is for you, because what you're experiencing has a name. It's called overfunctioning, and you don't have to live this way forever. So what does it actually mean to overfunction? Simply put, it's a pattern in a relationship where one person takes on way too much responsibility for everyone else, usually at their own expense. This isn't just about being helpful or capable. It's a constant habit of doing more than your fair share, emotionally, mentally, and physically. At home, this can look like a few different things. You handle pretty much all the household chores, not just because you do them better or faster, but because you genuinely believe that if you don't do them, they're not going to get done. Maybe you even catch yourself redoing chores your partner or kids already did because, let's be honest, they didn't meet your standards. You also carry the invisible weight of mental load. You're the one remembering birthdays, scheduling dentist appointments, planning every single meal, and knowing when the bills are due. Your brain feels like a cluttered command center that's constantly tracking everyone else's to-do list. Another huge sign is feeling a constant low-level resentment. You feel unappreciated and taken for granted, but the thought of actually asking for help or letting something slide fills you with guilt and anxiety. You probably find yourself saying, it's just easier for me to do it myself. But that ease comes at a massive cost of your own well-being. For a while, being the responsible one feels good. You feel competent, you feel needed, and you keep everything from catching on fire. But this role has enormous hidden costs that are slowly chipping away at your health and, most importantly, your happiness. The most obvious cost is burnout. Even when you get a full night's sleep, and it's not just physical, it's going to be a deep emotional and mental exhaustion from carrying everyone else's world on your shoulders. Suddenly, small tasks feel gigantic, and you find yourself snapping at the very people you're trying so hard to care for, which this leads straight to resentment. Physically, the chronic stress of overfunctioning hammers your body. It can show up as high cortisol levels, trouble sleeping, constant headaches, chronic pain, getting sick all the time. Your body is keeping the score. But maybe the most heartbreaking cost is that you start to lose yourself. Your identity gets so tangled up in what you do for other people that you forget what you need. You push your own desires to the back burner because someone else's needs always feel more important. And now if you're nodding along right now, you're probably asking yourself, how on earth did I get here? Well, the answer almost always leads back to one place, your past. If you grew up in a home that was chaotic, neglectful, or just plain unpredictable, you might have become a parentified child. This is when a child is forced to take on adult responsibilities way before that they are ready. Maybe you had to care for your younger siblings, act as a mediator in your parents' fights, or be the emotional support for a struggling adult. You learned really early on that your safety and your value are going to be tied to being responsible, useful, and in control. It helped you survive in an environment where you couldn't count on all the grown-ups to be grown-ups. And this behavior is also deeply tied to anxiety. At its core, overfunctioning is often just an attempt to manage your own internal fears. fear of failure, fear of being rejected, fear that everything will fall apart. By controlling your external world, you create this temporary illusion that you are safe. Taking care of everything becomes a way to soothe your own anxiety. So step number 1, we want to learn to let go. And this is the hardest and most important step. You have to consciously decide to stop doing things that aren't actually your job. This means you have to let the natural consequences happen. Don't remind your teenager about their homework. Let them feel the consequences of forgetting it. And I know that feels terrifying because you most likely experienced that overwhelm, that anxiety when you didn't hand in a homework assignment, which is what you're trying to stop your teenager from feeling, which again, it comes from you caring. However, it stunts their own growth. We learn from failure. Don't jump in to fix your partner's problem at work. Let them figure it out. If they also say they're going to do something, let them. And it might be on their terms and their timing. When you do this, you're going to feel a huge wave of anxiety. Your brain is going to scream at you. If I don't do it, it's going to be a disaster. Your job is to sit with that uncomfortable feeling. That anxiety is the feeling of the system rebalancing itself. By stepping back, you're not being mean. You're giving the people you love the space to build their own skills. Start with one small thing. Pick one ball to drop and just watch as the world, in fact, does not end. By the way, if this is hitting home and these steps are resonating with you, make sure you grab the calm code because that's going to give you more foundational pieces of creating calm within your nervous system. Step 2, delegate and communicate clearly. Overfunctioners are usually terrible at delegating because deep down, we believe no one can do it as well as we can. It's time to challenge that belief. Make a physical list of all the tasks that you do, both the visible and invisible ones. Then circle the things that other people can absolutely and should absolutely be doing. When you delegate, be direct and specific. Don't say, I could use some more help around here. Instead, say, I need you to be responsible for taking out the trash every Tuesday, or from now on, you're in charge of booking the kids' dental appointments. And frame it not as them helping you, but as them taking ownership of their share of the household. Expect some pushback or even some fumbling. It's part of their learning curve. And your job is to offer feedback, not to take the task back. Step 3, set and hold your boundaries. A boundary is for you, not for the other people. Overfunctioning by its very nature is a total violation of your own boundaries. You have to start saying no to taking on that extra project, no to solving problems that aren't yours. Even more importantly, you have to set boundaries around your own rest. Schedule time for yourself in your calendar, like it's a non-negotiable meeting with your CEO, because it quite honestly is. And when you first start to rest, you will probably feel guilty. Acknowledge the guilt, but don't obey it. Tell yourself, my worth is not based on my productivity. Step 4, my favorite one, reparent yourself. This is the final step, and this is where it all comes together. If you were that parentified kid, you missed out on being cared for. Healing from overfunctioning means learning to give yourself the care, compassion, and attention that you never got. And this means actually listening to your own needs when you feel tired. You give yourself permission to rest. When you feel overwhelmed, you ask for help. When you feel sad, you let yourself feel sad without immediately trying to fix someone else's mood. Reparenting yourself means shifting your focus from managing everyone else's emotions to taking care of your own. It's about finally believing that your feelings and your needs are just as important as everyone else's, because they are. Breaking the cycle of overfunctioning is a journey. It's about understanding that you fell into this pattern to cope, to feel safe, and maybe even to feel loved. But you are no longer that child in a chaotic world. You are the adult with the power to create a different life for yourself by letting go, speaking up, and setting boundaries and learning to care for yourself. You don't just get your own life back. You create healthier, more balanced, more loving relationships with everyone around you. You teach them how to step up, and you teach yourself that you are worthy of rest, peace, and support. Now that you know why you overfunction at home, you might be wondering the somatic reset that actually works for overstimulated moms. That's exactly what we're going to be breaking down in this next video. So go ahead and watch it. I'll see you right there.